Introducing the Toxtyper, the most robust, productive, and easy-to-use LC-MS screening solution for toxicology. The Toxtyper can perform screening, confirmation, and semi-quantitation in one run at parts per billion sensitivity levels beyond what conventional GC-MS screening solutions can offer. This means it is possible to detect target substances and their metabolites in a wide range of biological matrices at concentrations down to low nanograms per milliliter. Designed with push-button operation in mind, the Toxtyper does not require a mass spectrometry expert to perform accurate analyses and produce high-confidence test results. Load the samples and push the start button. Toxtyper will do the rest and file the test reports. With advanced automation for sample preparation and a 12-minute analysis cycle, Toxtyper is ready for the most challenging workloads. Toxtyper comes with pre-installed methods and a library that covers over 1,000 compounds. There is no need to spend time on method development. New analytes can be added in only 3 mouse clicks. If a task requires focusing on a specific class or panel of analytes, Toxtyper can do that as well. Toxtyper delivers high-confidence results out of the box, repeatably and reliably. Toxtyper is an ion trap instrument that goes a step further than conventional MS analysis. While tandem mass spectrometry with a single collision cell is a trusted analytical technique, the ion trap system delivers results with an even higher level of confidence by performing a series of consecutive fragmentations for select analyte ions. Sample preparation for the Toxtyper is straightforward and can be performed much faster than for GC-MS-based analyses, as no lengthy hydrolysis step is required. Automated sample preparation systems can be used with the Toxtyper to help boost throughput and reproducibility. Day to day, instrument to instrument, and lab to lab, the Toxtyper provides consistent high performance and productivity.
Forensic toxicology, as it's practiced here, which is postmortem forensic toxicology, has a lot of very unique challenges. You have to remember that what we're trying to do is assist in determining the cause and manner of death. You're working with something that is basically a snapshot in time. So we are left with the challenge of trying to find, in the toxicology laboratory, whatever poisons, drugs, chemicals that may have been present that will help in determining that cause and manner of death. And that presents a lot of issues and problems.
In a lab like this, I would say probably the most challenging thing is looking for unknowns. It's important to have appropriate instrumentation that will be able to detect drugs at low concentrations, especially drugs that we may have never seen before.
Over the decades, the numbers of things that are available to people that can ultimately be lethal, whether it is an illegal drug or prescription drug or some sort of chemical, has made this a major, major challenge. So technology becomes a very important part of what we do. A great majority of what we do here is identification. I like to say it's 80% of the responsibility. We have to identify something first before we can move forward with interpreting and measuring and so forth. The Toxtyper system really advanced our capabilities. Much of our capabilities before relied on traditional GC-MS, and GC-MS is not necessarily the appropriate way to go on many of these drugs. So many of the drugs that we see now by LC-MS were things that we would never be able to see by GC-MS. And I think with the Toxtyper software and the way that works, we've got this incredible library that we can do our comparisons to, and a library that, of course, we can build up with new compounds.
The Toxtyper itself is the most sensitive in terms of screening. And then the sensitivity of that instrument, there may be drugs that we cannot see with our other screening techniques, but the Toxtyper, we've always managed to pick it up. Things that we would miss are a lot of these new emerging drugs. especially fentanyl analogs, synthetic cannabinoids, synthetic cathinones. These are the drugs that are taking over the illicit drug market, and these are the types of substances that are killing people frequently. And just using our traditional screening methods, especially with the fentanyl analogs, a lot of these cases might remain undetermined or pending without using the Toxtyper as a screening confirmation tool in the lab.
What the Toxtyper or ion trap mass spectrometry has enabled us to do is to conduct fairly broad screens with a great deal of reliability at a great deal of sensitivity to identify a multitude of things, from some of the complex pharmaceuticals to some of the illegal drugs that we're seeing daily.
Training other individuals in the lab on the Toxtyper I didn't find was very difficult. The ease of use of the instrument, it's very easy to modify for our purposes in the lab.
It has tripled, quadrupled, maybe even more than that, the scope of things that we can test for. The idea that it's an ion trap improves our identification because we can get degrees of MS second, MS to third, which really improves our identification of these things. So, but I think the biggest advantage is it's really opened up an enormous scope of things that we can identify fairly simply, quickly, and with a great deal of confidence.
I don't see these synthetic drugs slowing down anytime soon. They just keep evolving. And as long as those drugs are evolving, we will continue to evolve our methods on the Toxtyper to keep up with it.